rules.
I like shorts.
Yeah.
They're easy, or comfy.
Comfy shorts. I'm gonna be wearing that. I gotta market that Wolverine comfy shorts.
With special, like, loops for him.
Yeah, and resistant to stabbing, just in case he has an itch.
Okay, well, I do want to give folks time to ask questions of Steve, so I'm going to have, please show of hands, if you would love to ask a question. Uzair's going to come up and just get your thoughts. And at this point, I'm actually going to go away, because sitting here is awkward since we have no questions. I'll be back!
Okay,
Enjoy your time with
bye.
Steve. Bye!
Now I'm scared. Okay. Okay, fire away.
Hey man, how's it going?
Good.
I was just wondering, in Star Wars Rebels, is Zeb and Callus a couple, in your opinion?
Well, when opportunity knocks, one must answer. Yeah, he's hot Callus, of course we're a couple. When you see our babies, it's gonna be real awkward. You don't know that I can't have one, do you? From an era song, you don't know.
Problem is typecasting in the voiceover industry.
I'll ask this question for him.
Thank
He's
you.
asking, are there any problems with typecasting in the voice casting industry?
Are there problems with typecasting?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so, especially in the very beginning, because I have a deeper range. I was typecast as creatures. I came in to do, big, gnarly creatures and soldiers. And that's pretty much all I was hired for in the very beginning. So it took a while, especially once I got an agent, to get listened to doing anything else. And I think shows like Digimon, where I came in to do a character that was closer to my natural speaking voice, but auditioned in the process for Guillermo, and I realized I could do other things. Then that director knew that I could do something else, and it took years and years and years and years and years to break out of that. So yeah, that absolutely does happen. But even after I had been doing tons of different characters in different ranges, there still were a lot of the fans who said, "You're the guy who only does that one voice." So even the audience typecasts us, and I had to prove to them that I could do other things. So yeah, it's a strange thing, but it worked out okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great question. Hi.
I'm gonna have to leave soon to get Mary's panel, so it's not to disrespect her.
No, all good.
Just trying to get.
I'd go too if I were you.
So yeah, it's to know more about. I was already in your panel and Comic Expo, so I already know a lot about your career. I wanted to know more about Mary. I was surprised that you guys were engaged and how it happened. If you don't mind sharing.
How we were engaged?
Yeah, because you've known each other for so long. What changed? Or...
Absolutely, yeah. We knew each other as friends, and I knew her first as my director, and I had mad respect for her. Everybody in the industry does. She's great at what she does. And we were very good friends, but we didn't see each other socially very often. We just traveled in different circles. And over the course of a couple of weeks, I was fairly newly single. I had been single for 6 months or so. I was doing a show at the Improv in Los Angeles with Rob Paulson. We were doing this live show, Talking Tunes. Woo! And Mary, yeah, thank you. Give it up for Rob. It was amazing. Rob Paulson, he's so amazing. If you don't know who he is, look him up. Anyway, so we're doing this live show, and a bunch of our friends in the voiceover community came out. My son was there, and he's sitting at the table with Mary, and they knew each other through the years. And he was putting together a group of people to go hiking. And assembled, I think, 20, 30 people to go hiking, and Mary was sitting across the table, and he goes, "You want to come too?" And she said, "Yeah, sure, I haven't gone hiking in a long time." So we show up at the hiking place. I went with my son, and out of 20 or 30 people that said they were coming, it was my son and me and Mary, and that was it. And so we're standing at the base of this hill, looking at each other, I go, "Okay, let's go. This isn't awkward at all." And we had a great time. We went for a nice hike and just laughed about it. And then about a week later, I had just gotten back into hiking again. One of my friends, an engineer, tried to get me to go on this really gnarly hike near us in Burbank, near Warner Brothers. And I didn't know if I was up for it. He said he was going to have 15 or 20 people who were really fit going up there. This guy runs up the mountain. And And I said, dude, I don't know. And finally, I agreed to do it. He goes, it'll be great. You'll know a lot of people there. So I show up there. It's he and me and one other lady and Mary. I didn't even know that she was invited to this thing. And we're looking at each other. What the heck? How did this happen? Okay, so cool. And then a week after that, this is a little bit long, but sorry, it's worth it. I found myself recording in the studio that I hadn't been to in about a year and a half. And the studio has two entrances. They're side by side. One studio on one side, one studio on the other. The doors kind of come out into a main lobby area. I walk out of the door, and it's just me and the engineer in that studio. I don't know who's in the studio on the other side. I walk out of the door, and on the other side, Mary comes out. She was doing voice work in the other studio, and nobody else in the studio at all. And we look at each other. What? Okay, hi. Also weird. And we still didn't think much. We tried not to make anything of it at the time. Both of us were shy about that kind of thing. And then the next day, I go to a little restaurant, I think it was a Subway or something, and I'm sitting there having lunch. I had never been in this restaurant before. And Mary walks in and she said she hadn't been there in almost 2 years. I said, all right, sit down. Let's have a talk. And we were just laughing, and just at that point, both of us said the universe is trying to tell us something, so maybe we should listen and have a conversation. And so we agreed to have a not date. And, and we went out for dinner, and we have just been inseparable since. I can't stand being away from her. She is my best friend, and we just have so much fun. We laugh like we've always laughed. That friendship that we always had for 20 years has not only maintained, it's gotten stronger and better. And so finally I proposed to her last year. We bought a piece of property in Hawaii, and we're going to build our dream home there someday when we can afford to. Right now it's just a vacant piece of land. And so last year we were there snorkeling, and we had a crazy friend who's a dive instructor and stuff, and takes us to his favorite place. And it was actually rough to get in and out of the water. It's a lot of coral and waves and stuff. And we made it into the water fine, but getting back out was really rough. And so I had Mary go up first. And then I'm waiting till the waves subside enough so I can crawl up too. And all of a sudden this wave Moana's me up on top of her. And I tear up my knees. My knees are all bloody. And this was the day that I thought I might propose to her. And we were going to go up to the property and check it out a little bit later. So we go all the way up to the property, and I thought, all right, this is it, I'm going to do it. And so I lay down this blanket. My knees are still just pouring blood from this little incident. I get down on my knees, and I'm just about to do it. She goes, oh, let's look at it from up there. She didn't realize what I was doing. She goes up the hill, and I go, oh. And I have a hard time getting up. My knees are killing me. And so finally I follow her up the hill, and then I said, just stop. Before you say anything else, I get down on my knee, and I give her the ring. And so now it's official. We're going to get married, and the plan now is that we're going to wait. Both of us have been married before. We know each other's exes. It's all good. We all get along really well. But the plan is now, once we can afford to build our property in Hawaii, we're actually going to have the wedding there on the property in the place that I proposed. So, yeah, it's a good plan. It's a really good plan. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.